Nightcliff from Azazat. Nightcliff, the winner from Azazat, starry-eyed. And Woogie, not much between these three, followed by Escaline, and then Shamida and Hazalea runs on in the middle of the track. They're followed then by Katona and Ard. Change of leaders, Sounds of Heaven picks it up from Boogie Woogie. Dropping back on the rail is Starry-Eyed, and then comes Shamida, but it's Sounds of Heaven and Shane Foley winning by a length and a half. Boogie Woogie, Shamida.
Them in fourth and they're clear. Heading on now with less than a furlong and a half to race, and Foniska still leads from in second Delightful. In third place is Drummond Life ahead of Skyquake, but well inside the final furlong. Foniska out in front, 3 or 4 clear. Under Shane Foley as they go to the line. Foniska will win the opener in good style. From Delightful second, Drummond Life third, clear of Skyquake.
Woogie, not much between these three, followed by Escaline, and then Shamida and Hazalea runs on in the middle of the track. They're followed then by Katona and Ard. Change of leaders, Sounds of Heaven picks it up from Boogie Woogie. Dropping back on the rail is Starry-Eyed, and then comes Shamida, but it's Sounds of Heaven and Shane Foley winning by a length and a half. Boogie Woogie, Shamida. Furlong and a half, and it's Starry-Eyed pressed by Azaza. Picking up on the outside is Nightcliff. These three break away from Time to Boogie, and then comes Old Blues and Drummondine, and Nightcliff on the stand side is getting the better of Azazat, and then Starry-Eyed as they go towards the line. Nightcliff from Azazat. Nightcliff, the winner from Azazat, Starry-Eyed. And Woogie, not much between these three, followed by Escaline, and then Shamida and Hazalea runs on in the middle of the track. They're followed then by Katona and Ard. Change of leaders, Sounds of Heaven picks it up from Boogie Woogie. Dropping back on the rail is Starry-Eyed, and then comes Shamida, but it's Sounds of Heaven and Shane Foley winning by a length and a half. Boogie Woogie, Shamida.
Them in fourth and they're clear. Heading on now with less than a furlong and a half to race, and Foniska still leads from in second Delightful. In third place is Drummond Life ahead of Skyquake, but well inside the final furlong. Foniska out in front, 3 or 4 clear. Under Shane Foley as they go to the line. Foniska will win the opener in good style. From Delightful second, Drummond Life third, clear of Skyquake.
Woogie, not much between these three, followed by Escaline, and then Shamida and Hazalea runs on in the middle of the track. They're followed then by Katona and Ard. Change of leaders, Sounds of Heaven picks it up from Boogie Woogie. Dropping back on the rail is Starry-Eyed, and then comes Shamida, but it's Sounds of Heaven and Shane Foley winning by a length and a half. Boogie Woogie, Shamida. Furlong and a half, and it's Starry-Eyed pressed by Azaza. Picking up on the outside is Nightcliff. These three break away from Time to Boogie, and then comes Old Blues and Drummondine, and Nightcliff on the stand side is getting the better of Azazat, and then Starry-Eyed as they go towards the line. Nightcliff from Azazat. Nightcliff, the winner from Azazat, Starry-Eyed. And Woogie, not much between these three, followed by Escaline, and then Shamida and Hazalea runs on in the middle of the track. They're followed then by Katona and Ard. Change of leaders, Sounds of Heaven picks it up from Boogie Woogie. Dropping back on the rail is Starry-Eyed, and then comes Shamida, but it's Sounds of Heaven and Shane Foley winning by a length and a half. Boogie Woogie, Shamida.
Them in fourth and they're clear. Heading on now with less than a furlong and a half to race, and Foniska still leads from in second Delightful. In third place is Drummond Life ahead of Skyquake, but well inside the final furlong. Foniska out in front, 3 or 4 clear. Under Shane Foley as they go to the line. Foniska will win the opener in good style. From Delightful second, Drummond Life third, clear of Skyquake.
Woogie, not much between these three, followed by
Two of the most exciting fillies in training. Can Azazat throw her hat into the exciting ring as well? This is her debut run. Nightcliff is currently tracking her in the white sleeves. Chris Hayes goes for home and quickens up quite well, only just finds 1 too good on this occasion over the 7 furlongs. She's up to 10 furlongs. Today she's by Camelot, out of a See the Stars mare, so she should handle the season the ground. And it looks like she's got a good honest attitude as well. So she's done everything right. This was her debut run back in slow ground in October 26th of last year. And a reproduction of this run will see her go close, Fran.
It was a good performance. I think the winner haven't had the benefit of a run, and getting to follow the eventual second, that was a big help to Nightcliff. Ran a good race in the Irish Guineas trial back here on Sunday. Back in third, Starry-Eyed also ran a good race off a mark of 82 in a handicap here last Sunday. It's just the way she went through the race, this filly, that stamped her as a smart enough prospect in the making.
A Curra maiden, and she looked relatively uncomplicated. The red hood will come off. It's quite noisy here in the preliminaries, given that it's a student day and there's absolute disco music hopping here. But they've all handled it pretty well. The only one that got a little bit hot was All Time Great, and indeed an aura of Claire O'Connell's, but the others handled it quite well. This is a good maiden, though. There's a little bit of depth to this, and I think you and I both think that Star Galaxy is going to show up better today than she did on her debut run here over a mile last October, when she got trapped very wide for Dylan Brown McMonigal. She just had to make up a lot of ground. She's there just slightly on her toes there in the Shapur mystery colours, the maroon and yellow. But she came home to good effect behind Sounds of Heaven in a race that we think is going to work out quite well. She was just beaten over 3 lengths.
That's right, and Boogie Woogie was ahead of her that occasion. She reposed today, number 4, Boogie Woogie. She had the benefit of run that occasion. I'd be inclined to forgive Boogie Woogie on testing ground getting beat at Galway next time, but Star Galaxy was definitely the horse to take out that maiden.
Yeah, well, she was flashing home. Boogie Woogie's had her 3 runs. She's by Dubawi out of the Oaks winner. She was probably the pick of the ring. She looked great. Special mention for Night Blue as well, a good substantial 3-year-old filly by Sioux Nation, but it's a staying family, so you kind of mix signals there. As the fancy gloves for Jim and Jackie Bulger, who I've seen here, they've got a great chance later with Fleetfoot. That is loaded into the stalls under Rory Cleary, and other honourable mention as well is Save the Last Dance out of the Kenny McPeak Grade 1 winning mare in the US, Daddy's Little Darling.
Little bit of support for number 1, All Time Great as well. The third runner in the race, Fred O'Brien, debutant by Justify. Curvy was a good mare to dam.
She won the Ribblesdale, and to date she's bred 2 winners. They've been decent enough, but she's a sister to Power as well, so very good family as you'd expect coming from these quarters. Special mentions as well there is Point to prove for Michael Mulvaney going forward under Sean Burden, who takes the 10 off. You see Save the Last Dance there, number 9, in the pink colours of Mrs. Sue Magner, and out the back is Night Blue in the Zhang Yusheng colours. So this is a nice little race. Dermot Weld has won 3 of the last 4 runnings of it. Joseph O'Brien took it last year with Above the Curve. We might just see something smart to kick off Student Day at Leopardstown.
Every chance he might, as number 7 goes forward, Night Blue. Tactics will be interesting last Sunday here. The pace was holding up. It was quite hard to make up ground. Interesting to see how the riders played an opening race of the day here today.
Night Blue completes the line. All set. Off and racing. In this 1.25 mile fillies maiden in the early stages, Boogie Woogie and Fla Fest close up. Save the Last Dance improving in pink. Azazat is close on the outside, and also in that leading group is All Time Great. As they settle down, All Time Great with up on the outside Save the Last Dance. Close on the inner and third is Fla Fest ahead of Boogie Woogie. Star Galaxy next. Azazat is towards the outside in green and red, followed by Fancy Gloves. Point to Prove has Night Blue on her inside, and at the back of the field is Anora as they head on towards the 7 furlong point. Save the Last Dance, Wayne Lorden on the outside, leads by less than a length. Fla Fest, Luke McAteer on the outside, his all-time great Seamus Heffernan alongside stable companion Boogie Woogie, and Ryan Moore. In 5th position, Star Galaxy, Dylan Brown McMonigal, followed by Fancy Gloves, Rory Cleary, Azazat, Chris Hayes, a couple of lengths into on the inside, Night Blue, Shane Foley, alongside the red and yellow colours of Point to Prove and Sean Bird. And about 2.5 lengths adrift at the back of the field, and Nora, Robbie Colgan as they head on, nearing the 5 furlong point and the end of the back straight. Save the Last Dance leads now by over 2 lengths. From on the inside, Boogie Woogie sharing second spot with Fla Fest, and they're followed by Star Galaxy. All Time Great nudged along. Behind them is Azazat towards the outside, with Fancy Gloves as they pass the half-mile pole and make the swing that'll bring them across towards the straight. Save the Last Dance in the pink colours leads by 2 lengths. Disputing second spot, Boogie Woogie on the inside of Fla Fest, and they're tracked by Star Galaxy. All Time Great is pushed along, making ground around the outside is Azazat as they near the turn in. Save the Last Dance out in front, chased by Boogie Woogie. Fla Fest around the outside, Azazat. Star Galaxy trying to make headway behind them. All Time Great is weak, and Night Blue stays on, but with over 1.5 furlongs to race. Save the Last Dance still out in front, chased by Boogie Woogie. Azazat with the noseband on the outside. Star Galaxy behind them in 4th. Inside the final furlong, Save the Last Dance still leads. Azazat and Boogie Woogie both staying on. Star Galaxy back in 4th, but with 50 yards to race. Save the Last Dance and Wayne Lorden in front will win the opener from stable companion Boogie Woogie second. Azazat third. Star Galaxy was 4th.
Very good performance by Save the Last Dance, who makes all other Wayne Lord to fend off the challenger. Back in second, stable companion Boogie Woogie, who slipstreamed her right, or stable companion all the way throughout. And as is that, staying on well late on, having swept around the outside, turning in. But a good performance, Jane, by the winner. She's shown some promise at Thurles last year, but today out in front, ears pricked. Looked like she got things pretty handy at the front end.
Yes, Save the Last Dance is a very good film, and now it looks like she could be an above-average filly. Taken forward under Wayne Lord, and they didn't go breakneck in front, and she was nice and relaxed, sitting up sides, fled fast for the first part of the run, and her stable companion All Time Great, who raced green throughout the run, a little bit behind the bridle, and I'm sure will come forward for the run. No excuse for Boogie Woogie. She had box seat and looked happy to be sitting there under Ryan Moore. She was just being tracked by Star Galaxy all the while, but you can watch here, Fran, as they're heading across the road. This filly's got a lovely attitude. She's doing everything Wayne Lorden is asking her to do. They're doing around 13-second furlongs. They're not going over quick, but he's asking her to stretch all the same.
Yeah, once Wayne gets to the road, he gets to the rail. You can see her ears pricked here and shot, and he gets across. It looked like he steadied the pace up to his own suit himself. She was very relaxed in front. In comparison, Shamie Heffernan on the debutant All Time Great, she never really picked up the bridle on debut. Wayne Lorden is dictating, and Ryan Moore's got a perfect position now inside, following his stable companion. And the big market mover, Star Galaxy, never really dropped a bit until they start turning out the back straight.
Yes, Dylan had a little bit of a task just to get her to settle, and he was in the perfect position to do so. In contrast, Shamie Heffernan, the Derek Smith colours on his outside, has the opposite problem.